Hello YouTube, so I do a quick video here. Now there are many ways to set up your float switch, and depending on what you want to use it for, but in this video I'll give you some ideas on if you're going to use it for like a flood alarm, or maybe perhaps you want to mount a float switch in your cattle water tank so that it will turn on a pump. Now if you're going to do the cattle water tank, I'd recommend mounting the float switch inside of a plastic type bucket, so that the cattle can't get to the float switch. But nevertheless, this video will give you some ideas on how to do this, and it will save you some time, and you'll know what to do. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get plastic that's thick, that's really rigid. Don't use an ice cream bucket. Those are way too flimsy. So whether it's a 5-gallon bucket or this type of bucket, whatever the case may be, you want to get a good hard plastic. Second thing you want to do is mount your float switch first before you drill any holes, because obviously it's going to be kind of hard to mount your float switch if you drill holes all over. So mount your float switch first. Then mount where your PVC pipe, if you're going to have a PVC pipe for your wiring or whatnot, or drill a hole for your wet wiring that's going to be exiting the bucket. That's the next thing you want to do. Then, once you get those 2 holes drilled in your float switch mounted, I recommend leaving at least a couple inches out of the ground. I'm only going to bury this up to here. Okay? So I drilled a whole bunch of holes all the way around, and I drilled a whole bunch of holes on the cover, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. Now, when you drill your holes, don't make the holes really big, because then you gotta worry about debris coming in there, branches, leaves that could interfere with the float switch. So I'd say stick with a 1/2-inch drill bit is what I would recommend. So drill your holes. Then when you do your cover, don't drill the holes on the edge of the cover. Otherwise, it may not latch very well, because then it gets too flimsy. So leave like 1 inch like I did here when you drill your holes. Now, the other thing you want to do is you want to take and cut a hole in the bottom of it, because you want the water to exit when the water goes down. But make sure you don't cut the whole bottom out for 2 reasons. 1, it keeps the structure of the bucket. 2, I need to mount anchors, so I got to drill holes in here to mount my anchors so the bucket don't move. So that's another reason why, and I'm just using a steel rod that's been bent over. That's what I'm going to be using in each corner. I'll drill some small holes. We'll push it. We'll put the bucket in the hole. Then we'll put those anchors in. So keep that in mind too for anchoring. Now, in my case, I'm going to be running a couple different designs, kind of experimenting. I got this float switch, and I have a septic float switch that you saw in the other video. So I'm going to run. Now, some people may not agree with this. Some people may. I would recommend using a burial type of phone wire. You're probably wondering, why would I use phone wire? Because it has many pairs in it. So if you want to, if you have a pair that goes bad, you just move your wire to the other pair, and then you don't have to rerun wire. So that's what I would recommend, especially if it's a short run. That will work just fine. You can buy underground phone wire fairly cheap, because we're not talking a lot of current here, a lot of voltage for this type of setup. Now, depending on what you're doing, if you're going to be using it for running a pump or something like that, then you may need a little bit more heavier wire. You'll have to kind of figure that out. But in my case, I'm going to use phone wire because I'm running 2 different switches, so I need as much pair wire as possible, and then I want some extra too, just in case of a pair goes bad. So I'm going to use phone wire when I get this installed. So that's my recommendations on this, on the type of bucket. Now, like I said before, you could have this turn on a pump, and you could have it fill up a cattle water tank if it gets low automatically. There's a lot of ways you can do this. Just depends on what you want, and then maybe have it just turn on a pump and then it shuts off once it gets up to the certain level. It turns the pump off. In my case, I'm going to use it for like a flood alarm. So that's going to activate a two-way radio that's programmed to the repeater frequency, and it's going to play a customized MP3 file that I will make saying that, you know, the water's to point number 1 or zone 1 or whichever way I have it do it. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this particular setup. So there you have it. There's some ideas on how to set up your float switch, what type of bucket to use, what type of container. And a lot of this stuff you can get, people throw this out. 5-gallon buckets, those work really well. They're nice and strong. You know, so there you go. Any questions or comments, please post them down below. Please subscribe. Thank you and have yourself a good day.